All right, good evening, girlfriends. It's Guide to Homeschooling. It's that time for a live interview. Woo-hoo! All righty. Okay, we're going to wait for our special guests. And as you come in, please let us know where you're viewing us from. And this is Angela Jordan Perry with Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. We got a wonderful guest who has persevered this afternoon. Let's get her on. All right. Hello, Yalonda. Yay, there we are. Wonderful. Hey,
Hey,
Yalonda. Hi there.
hey, how you doing, Angela?
Although, well, let's see. I'm going to let you know I have just, let's see. 1 second, and I will give this try again. Here we go. All right. I'll let you know when I've shared it. It'll be just a moment.
Okay.
Okay, it's shared onto Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. All right, girlfriends, as you let us
Okay.
know where you're viewing us from.
Now, do I need to share as well?
Yeah, so you should have your computer open to Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, to that page, so that then you can share it onto your page, personal page, and share it into any groups that you would like to share it into.
Okay.
Let me know when you've done that, and then we'll get started.
All right.
All right, yes, this is going to be a great interview. We are
Oh.
homeschooling mamas, but I'm telling you, we're going to be so tech savvy. We are learning so much. Hey,
Awesome.
we are learning so
Okay.
much doing this. Have you shared already?
I have not, but I'm
All right,
about
just let me know
to.
when you have. Hey, Shiva, good to see you in here today. Anyone else, if you come on in, and then let us know where you're viewing us from. And yeah, if you're on the replay, yeah, still let us know where you are viewing from. That is always great to know our audience and where we're hitting them from.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get started because I am new at this live thing today. This is a first for me.
Yes.
And I am in the girlfriend's homeschool guide, but I don't know what to do after that.
Okay.
Um,
Yes, at all. If you scroll down a little bit, do you see our picture on there? Will you see the video?
our I do,
Okay.
I
Now on the
do.
bottom, it should hit a share button. Hit the share button
I
and
see
then
it.
choose your
Yeah,
timeline.
I have it. I've shared.
Okay, and then you can share it to any groups if you'd like to share it to any other groups. Do the
Awesome. I'm here.
Okay. All right, good. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Girlfriends has got to homeschooling. I am turned up for today's
Oh
if you
goodness.
all only knew how we have persevered this evening for this interview. We are here. Woo! Tech.
Oh my goodness. It was a battle, but we won.
We
We
have
won.
won the battle. So let me just let you know, if you are seeing us pop up in your news feed and you're like, who in the world are these women? Let me tell you, this is Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. And this is a show that I host. I'm Angela Jordan Perry. And what this platform is, it is to give voice to the African homeschooling diaspora and to the marginalized homeschoolers. So this is a hashtag, we homeschool too. It is to give support, encouragement, enlightenment, nuggets of wisdom, transparency of our successes and our struggles in homeschooling. And this is to build a village. So we have extended our village out into Jacksonville, Florida today.
Yay!
So we are building a village here on Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschool in which you can connect to. So we are in California and Iowa, Louisiana, Ohio, Maryland, all over this country.
Awesome.
England, different places where we are connecting this African homeschooling diaspora. So just to let you know a little bit about myself before we get started on our show. Hey there, let's see, you're watching from Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, Kenyatta. So
Hey, Kenyatta.
I'm a homeschooling.
Hi, Brandy. Hi, Dorcas.
I am a homeschooling mom of 18 years to 8 children, 3 of which we have graduated. I'm married 26 years to my dear husband, my sweetheart, since I was 16 years old. And we are small-time farmers. We are, I guess you can say, self-sustaining farmers here in the upstate of South Carolina, where we make our home, and where I also serve the homeschooling community here in the state of South Carolina, providing legal rights for them to homeschool. So that's just a little bit about me and Girl Princess Guide. Woo! We are ready. So are you ready to make this happen, Yalonda?
Yes, I am.
Thank the Lord. So let's know a little bit about Yalonda. Yalonda has been happily married to her high school sweetheart for 18 years. She has been a stay-at-home mom for 8 years and a full-time homeschooling mom for 2 years. Her children are ages 13 and 8. Yalonda graduated in 2015 with her bachelor's degree from Florida State University in Tallahassee, Florida. In 2017, Yalonda, along with her husband and 2 kids, decided that they would first become a minimalist family and second, start their adventures by converting their now owned 1999 Cummings school bus into a tiny house and living full time on the road. So we're going to talk about that. I'm so excited. So we're going to definitely dive into that a little bit. So Yalonda, I have just given Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling just a little bit about you. Please share more and how you actually got started in your homeschooling journey.
How I started in my homeschool journey, I just felt like my kids needed more from me than what they were getting at school, and I realized that it was possible. Growing up, I didn't know that there was an option to homeschool your kids. I never thought about it. And I just started seeing the changes in my kids when they started going to school, especially my daughter, she's still very young. And I wanted more for them and from them. I didn't feel like they were doing everything that they could do. I don't have a problem with traditional school, but I just realized that it wasn't what I wanted for my family. My husband and I both decided it, and he's been with me 100% on it. And I have a wonderful, I can't say enough. My family, my homeschool family here in Jacksonville is awesome. I could not have done this without them. They know who they are. They are here. Yeah, that's how I started my journey, and it's been uphill since. I mean, it's been a good journey so far. So I've been enjoying
Good deal.
it.
So tell me, how was your first year when you got started 2 years ago? What was that like?
When I first got started, I started out not knowing a lot. And then I said, I had so many people saying there's no such thing as not getting it, or there's no such thing as not, you can't fail them. And so I was just like, you know what? I started taking it slowly and taking in the advice that I can get from people, and that I could use. I used it, and that didn't work for my kids. I didn't use it because that first year early on, I found out that my way might not be somebody else's way, and their way may not be, my way. So I just kind of fell through and found out what works for both of my children. So it wasn't hard for me. The first year wasn't that bad. Because I was willing and open. I was open for anything. Like I was open for all kinds of advice, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I appreciate those people who let me know the ugly, because a lot of people think that it's an easy thing to do, but it is not. I think my biggest thing was basically managing my time. because you have so much time, but you don't have time. So basically, that was my biggest, downfall in the beginning, but it's been a great
Yeah.
experience.
And I mean, it's good that you said that it's easy, but it's not so easy. And the thing that keeps it,
Hmm.
not even being concerned about the easy part is just your commitment, knowing your why. Why you're homeschooling, and this is
Exactly.
why I'm going to do it, and you just keep going after it through the tough parts. You're
Yeah.
just like, ah, we're going to get this. So,
Yes.
so after, go
Yeah.
ahead.
My kids have been open to it. So, it's not like I had to take them out of school kicking and screaming either. So that actually is a good thing. When you have to force it on your kids, then it doesn't go as smoothly as you would like for it to, especially when you're dealing with teenagers, because now they have a voice. you know and so I had two kids who were willing to go on this journey with me, so it was a lot easier for me to work with them and for them to be patient with me, because the first day I told them, I said, look, we're going to be learning together. Mommy doesn't know everything. We're going to learn together, and all that mommy doesn't know, she'll find out. So that does help to have kids who are on the journey with you, and you're not trying to pull them along,
Yes, yes.
because those 50 little pounds can be quite heavy when they don't want to do what they
Oh, oh
what you
yeah,
ask
oh
them
yeah. So you
to do.
mentioned that time management was the one thing that you had to really get a hold of. So what is your daily habits like?
Our daily habits is normally my daughter is earlier than my son. She gets up a lot earlier than my son. She gets her things done. She's only 8, but she's very self-motivated. My son, who is 13, is a 13-year-old. So I have to go in there and get him up after, if 9 o'clock gets here and he's still in there, I got to get him up. So it's a normal household, with your kids. They are different. You can't do something what works for one won't work for the other all the time. And we eat breakfast together. We pray together. We talk, we have open conversation. Sometimes we watch movies, we learn through movies. Sometimes, and it just depends on what is best for my kids. But I have a beautiful friend who is working with me now on planning my time out, so that the kids are a lot more can move through their day without me as much. But right now, our biggest thing is we just get up and we move through the day. They know now, by in the second year, they know what they're supposed to do. So they get up, even if I'm not here, I'll go to the gym and work out or whatever now, and they are here doing what they need to do. And when I get back, they're halfway done. I just go back and make sure that they don't have any issues or problems that, I can help them
Hmm.
with. And that's basically how we do it. Our days are nice. I have to admit, our days are pretty simple and nice. We get out, we go to the parks while everybody's away, and that's a
Yeah.
nice thing. And that's basically it. Yeah.
So you have to tell us about this journey. You have converted, and this is, I think, when we first chatted together on Facebook, and you mentioned the idea of, we have this bus that we've converted and plan to go traveling and do schooling on this bus. So you have to tell us about that, because that intrigued me. Like, what you're talking about? What you're gonna do? What? Tell any brown skinned people doing that kind of thing. Tell us this. This is exciting. So yeah, share
I
that.
know it is super exciting. Okay, so basically what happened with the bus issue was I've always wanted to travel. I come from a small town. I love my small town, but I didn't do a whole lot of traveling. Your parents do what they can do close by. And my husband and I decided when we had my daughter, who was 8, who is now 8, that we wanted to start traveling. But life kind of gets in the way. You don't ever move on it. And so one day, last year for my birthday, we decided that we were going to go to a RV shop because we was going to make this happen,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we went to the RV shop and we started looking at these things, and it was like, oh my gosh, 175,000. Like, we can buy a really nice house for this amount of money. And I was just just like, this is not what I want. Like, I don't want us to go into my husband's, like break everything that we have for us to do this dream. So I was kind of bummed about it. And I went on, I started following this family on Instagram. It's just out of the blue. This family on Instagram came up and it said, the world is our home, is our school. And I started to look into it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, we could do this. But the biggest thing was getting my husband to do it. Because I was just like, I already had asked him about a tiny house. But he was just like, no, because I'm not tiny. We're not doing it. And I was just like, well, it would be so much fun to kind of find a truck and hitch it on the back. He was like, no, I'm not doing it. So we started looking, and it didn't take long. I started looking into it. I found the bus on what is it? I can't remember the name of the site. I found the bus though, and the guy texted me back and said, well, I sold that bus. I said, oh, he was like, but I have so many more, and I have one that you would really like because you're wanting to travel. And he called me up. It was a 1999, and it had only 56,000 miles on it.
Wow.
And he was just like, I'll sell you this bus for $2,200. And I was like, are you serious? He was like, yeah, but you would have to add on the $700 for me to bring it to you. And I was like, well, this is supposed to be an adventure. So we said, you know what? Let's pack the kids up. We're going to drive to Maryland and get this bus. And that's what we did. And it's been an adventure ever since we paid for the bus. It's been an adventure. We gutted the bus out on our own. We did a lot of work because we found letters written from teachers to parents stuck under the seat, that to never find again. There was gum for days. It was nasty. Oh my gosh, it was the nastiest thing. But it started taking shape. And about 3 to 4 months of traveling 3 hours every other Saturday to Georgia, because the Schoolie family, that's what it's called, the Schoolie. So if you look it up, it's Skoolie. The Schoolie family is a wonderful family. They are very giving. They don't want a whole lot from you. They are happy people because they are not concerned with the things that we concern ourselves with every day. And so this guy just out of nowhere said, you can park the bus at our house, because we didn't have anywhere to park it. But it was 3 hours from where we live. So we traveled there every Saturday, did work on the bus until nightfall, ate and drove back home every other Saturday, until we got to the point where there was nothing else we could do. So we decided, you know what, we have to find a contractor. And a contractor contacted us out of the blue. She said, she's the sweetest woman I have ever met. And she said, you know what, we can do this for you. And she said, can you get it to it was Gullah Island in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And she said, if we can get it here, we have a shop there. And we drove it from Georgia we drove it then from Georgia to South Carolina. And we left it with them. And since then, their company has relocated to Tennessee. So they drove it from South Carolina to Tennessee. So it's going to be in Tennessee until it is completely done. They've been sending updates of pictures and different things like that. And to keep us, motivated, because it's a long process. Wow. But the kids are super excited about it. They are super
Good
excited.
Deal. You just got to tell us really quickly what you did beforehand to prepare for this eventual move onto the bus to live there. What did you all do? Tell us real quickly on that.
Okay, that was chaos. There were tears shedded. There was tears, there was chaos. Okay, so we decided when we came up with the idea that we were going to do the bus, we said, okay, so we have this huge house with all this junk, in it. So first of all, we have to become minimalist. We got to get rid of some stuff. And it was horrible. My daughter, everything, just so you know, everything that you give a kid is precious. Oh, but remember, my auntie gave me this. We were riding down the street and she just handed it off to me and I want to keep it. Everything had sentimental value to it. So it was very hard for the kids to get rid of their things. But then I started motivating them. I said, you know what? We can sell it And whatever you want to use your money for to go on, for something to go on the buffet, is if it's in nothing but a quilt to go on your bed, we'll do that. We'll buy the things that you want for your bunks. We'll buy the things that your pictures that you want to do for your for the bus. Any your ideas can come to life. And after a while, they started giving stuff out, like to their friends, like, "Oh, I want you to have this. I want you to, I want to give you things." Which I learned a lot because my kids like their stuff. They don't want to hold, they don't want to give anything away. But after a while, they start having that giving heart, that heart where they didn't feel bad for giving. And then they realized that there were so many people that kids their age that they don't have all the junk that they had, and that they didn't need it. And so we went through that. A lot of things that my mom gave me when before she passed, I had to start breaking away from it because you can't take it on the road with you. Yeah. So my most valuable pieces, I gave some to my sisters, and some to my friends. So a few friends but she didn't leave a whole lot, so it wasn't too bad. And I just started getting rid of stuff. And then we moved into a smaller apartment. So from the move, we moved on January the 1st. It was the worst January the 1st I have ever. And it was the worst January 1st I have ever had. And we moved. I mean, moved and cleaned and moved and cleaned. And it was horrible. I can't lie. It was horrible. And, but we made it through, and we're finally settling into our little place or whatever. And we have very little. We have very little things here in the house, and we have to get rid of some more stuff. I mean, even though we have very little, there's still a lot to get rid of. So this year is a year of final purge.
Gotcha.
You go through that stage of the big purge, and then there's that final purge where you say, you know what? I don't need this either, and you realize it because you don't move it anymore. You put it somewhere and you realize I'm not using it, or it's just to make something look good or whatever, and you just realize you don't need it. So the kids are loving it. They are loving having all this space to run around in, even though it's only like 700 square feet. They love having that space to run around in now,
And
so in the bus,
your bus is going to be how big will it be?
It'll be a little under 400 square feet.
Wow, that's
amazing.
That's amazing. And so the D day for that is when is the plan to move there? And
our date for our bus to be finished is in January.
Okay.
I have made some arrangements here in Jacksonville, and I am doing something very important and special for me with a friend, and so we won't start traveling until June. We plan to be fully on the road in June of next year, but we'll be living on our bus before then. This lease ends on January the 1st, and on January the 1st, we shall be moving. Into our bus.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Well, listen, girlfriends, let me let you know who we are. This is Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, and we have Yalonda with us. Yalonda finally have her on the show, and she is, I don't know what you call you. What do you consider? Like, you're not world traveling, you're not traveling the world, country travelers?
I think it's country travelers, but we are going to travel the world because living on the bus, you have your money. I mean, you're not paying rent, you're not paying lights, you're not paying anything like that. So our goal is to save, go out of the country. We will be traveling other places. I have a friend who's a world schooler. I plan to do some of the things that she's done. I let her go lead the way, and I take notes. So we don't have to stay in United States as often because we will have the money to explore, be able to live out a few dreams before the children get grown. It doesn't take long, and that was one of my driving forces for it, is because I wanted to enjoy them before they were out of this house, before they were from under my wing. And I want them to be able to not be afraid of the world. They need to know that it's more to life and more to what we do than what they see right here at their back door.
Yeah.
So That was my biggest go. That was my biggest goal. I didn't want them to grow up not knowing,
Got, got,
and I wanted to provide them this lifestyle. So in this lifestyle, there's sacrifice, but there's excitement and there's love because we are there as a family. And you get a lot closer when you eliminate a lot of the junk in life. You realize that the things that we value is not very that important.
yeah,
So I think we've gotten a lot closer with each other. We learn each other a lot. We have time to learn each other,
yeah.
and this will bring us a lot closer. So I'm sure they'll get on my nerves, and they are gonna get on my nerves, in the 400 square feet. But we're excited about it. I can't kick them off the bus.
Yeah,
So
can't kick them off the bus. A little bit. Let me ask you this: since as a homeschooling mom now 2 years, this is my favorite question. And my mantra is no one gets a ticket to perfect. So no one, doesn't matter your status, your title, how your income level or not, etc. We don't get a ticket to perfect. So in your homeschooling, take us to your worst day of homeschooling, Yalonda, where it was so bad, you were like ready to quit. Like, I'm done, I'm giving up, and sending them back to school. Somebody's homeschooled, but I'm done. Take us to that day. But you didn't quit, and that's why you're amazing homeschool mom you are, still ready to hit the road as a
yes. Well, it's funny you asked me that because my worst homeschool day was actually last week. I threatened to put both of them back in school. I said, you know what? I don't have to do this. I could be going on dates in the daytime. I could be at the park by myself in a movie, an adult movie. The reason why it was so bad was because my son, for some reason, he kind of felt like, I don't know. You know how they start to grow, and then you have to realize that they're growing, and it just all of a sudden, bam, it just happened, and so he's just like, I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to go back, but what he said, I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to go back to be with them, all those kids, but I do miss them. And I'm just like, are you serious right now? Like and then him and his sister were like back and forth at each other. And I just could have just walked out the door and kept walking and just left him here because, you realize as a parent that you sacrifice a lot. And especially when you're homeschooling, because you don't get that morning cup of coffee by yourself unless you're waking up extra early. Somebody, you can't do anything. You don't get to do a lot by yourself. And I was just like, here you are saying how you sacrificing as a kid, but as a mom, I am sacrificing a lot for you. We got to talk about this because I don't want it to be where I feel like I'm sacrificing more than you are, and you feel like you're sacrificing more than I am because I don't understand because I'm not where you are. I've been there, and so we had to sit down and have that talk of, okay, is this what you want? Because you have aunties that I can ship you to because I'm getting on this bus. And we talked about it and he understood, but I do think that it is the growing, and as parents, we don't realize that, we forget. It's not that we don't realize, it's just that we forget that we had to grow and that our kids are going through those same things that we went through, and as he's always been he's a sweet kid, and he's always been very nice and very sweet, but I do realize that he can't stay a baby. He's not a baby anymore. So we had to have the talk of, okay, if everybody's on board, then we can still move on with this. But if you're not on board, then this is something that we can pull the plug on because I do like my amenities in the place where I was, I can go back to that. And they were just like, no, we don't want that. We want to get back. We want to do this, and they've been really good. They've been waking up, doing their work. Can I help you with anything?
Right, Apostle being kicked off the bus was like, okay, I think I can change my mind on this.
Yes.
Likewise, Yolanda, likewise, what has been your most memorable time of homeschooling? I mean, just thinking about it brings you to tears almost. It just moves your heart. And you just say, this is why I have decided to do this homeschooling, this right here.
I think my best moments of homeschooling is being able to connect with my kids a little bit more, because and then them telling me they appreciate me, when they do see that I'm working hard, I'm staying up late making copies of things, I'm getting a lesson plan together just so that they can, and my son will get up and he'll be like, mommy, you want water, or and that warms my heart. And the best part was on my daughter's birthday this year. I thought she wanted to have a party because she has some great friends that she's met in the homeschool community. And I thought she was going to say, I want to have a party. And she said, no. She was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to hang out with my family. And I said, well, there's going to come up to a time where you're going to be with us all the time. She was like, yeah. And it's a good time to start. She was like, I just want to go to the park and paint. And the beautiful thing is that my husband doesn't miss any of it. He's always right there, and to be able, because a lot of times in homeschooling, the moms, we get to have a lot of fun. We pay for field trips. We go on these things and, we experience these things with our children, but, our husband is bringing the bacon, you got to do it. And the best part is that even though, he's there, he's there, he doesn't miss anything. And just the fact that I think I've been able to slow my son's process down with just getting out there, because you lose them after a while, if they're in public school, you don't have any, hold on to that. They do things that they normally wouldn't do when you're not around. And so I feel like the sweet thing is that he's still my baby. He still wants to hold my hand, he still wants to give me kisses because we're together all the time, and he still opens doors for me. It's not cliche to not, for him to not do it, for him to do it. And he does it and he doesn't complain. And my daughter wants to be around me, and I can teach her the things that my mom taught me without having it being late at night, because when it's late at night and you don't have time to do anything, so I think those are the sweetest things that, the times that makes me happy that I took them out of school so that I can be intentional about their lives and being intentional about their education and be intentional about the people that I let into their lives, because that's very important as well. So,
very good. That's beautiful. So we're transition to this time of our show where these are some questions where just to pick your brain, give a quick answer, just one or two sentences, but just real quick answer. So what is your favorite quote? What is your mantra that keeps you going through this homeschooling journey?
My favorite quote. My favorite quote would probably be, I don't know. I have so many things of my own. And, the thing is that my mom left me with so many things that I live by. And to pick one would be really hard. That's a good question. I think one of her favorite things was saying, you better teach them now, because if you don't, the world will teach them for you. And that's always what I think about, because when they're in school, teachers have their own, outlook on things. They're putting their stamp on your kid, and it may not line up with what you have for them. And my mom was very wise when it came to teaching us. She took her time. She was intentional about it. Sometimes I think she did it because she knew she wasn't going to be here very long. But I do think that teaching them, not being intentional about what you teach them, being very strategic with what you teach your children so that they're ready for the world when it's time for them to get out in.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Do you plan to homeschool them all the way through to the high school?
Yeah.
What is something that's in your library right now that you feel like every homeschool should have this book, this resource? Is there something you can suggest for the girlfriends?
Something I can suggest for the girlfriends that everybody should have. Hmm, that's a good question too. Let's see. No, I know that everybody should do art. Everybody should do art at home because that's your kids' language. They learn through, you can learn a lot from a kid by the art that they do. We spend a lot of time doing art here in our house, and I think that it's a good way to express themselves. And you can't worry about the mess that they're making. You just got to let them get into it. I would say art. There's no there's no, I don't know anything specific that I would say because I change up a lot. If it doesn't work for me, I'm just like, oh, that's got to go. But art is something that has never failed me, and it's exciting. It's fun to see what they're going to come up with. So I would say
Good
art.
deal. All right. So here's the last question, the $1 million question. Are you ready, Yalonda?
I am so ready.
So, Yalonda, if you had to start all over again, back to day number 1 of your homeschooling journey, but you have all your current wisdom, knowledge, skills, convictions, experiences, what would be the first thing you'd be sure to change in your homeschooling journey or be sure to implement in this homeschooling journey?
Nothing. I think I did it right. I didn't know what I was doing, but I think that I did it right. I couldn't change anything about the very first day that I brought my kids home. I can remember it clearly. I didn't even know that they were out of school. I dropped them off and I had sent the paperwork in the day before. And they told me that morning before I can get back home, she called me and told me to come pick them up. I was like, okay. And so I don't think I did anything wrong. At that moment, my kids stopped asking me, could they go to the bathroom, because they were used to that. That's what they were used to,
Yeah.
being in the school system. So I think that I did everything. I wouldn't change anything that I did on my
Somebody
first,
said
when I
maybe
first.
start sooner.
Yes, definitely start sooner. Definitely start sooner. Yes, that would be a good one. Yeah.
Well, Yolanda, thank you so much. I mean, very insightful, very encouraging information you shared with us, and just out of the box lifestyle that you're about to jump into. So, thank you for sharing that. So, are there any last words of advice you can give to us, girlfriends, here who are homeschooling? 3 things. Any last words of advice? What do you have your hands into that you would like us to know about as an extended part of our village that we can connect and support you with? And then how can the girlfriends get in contact with you if they'd like to continue this conversation and ask you some questions or follow you on this journey that you're going to be starting next June?
Okay. The way to contact me, I'm going to start with that, is the easy way, is through Messenger. That's great. The Messenger would be easy for me to contact. We will be starting, if you follow me on Facebook, my name is Yalonda, Yalonda Harris. Is Yalonda Harris. And you can ask any questions. If you decide to build your own bus, I can steer you in some right directions. So that's the communication part. Also things that I have my hand into. I am gonna be I'm gonna put a plug for Sankofa Homeschooling here in Jacksonville. It's a extension program. You can go to the website and check out more information there. My hands are all in that. I'm super excited for that. And also, what was the other thing? Oh, anything, what was it? Anything that I could, any advice? In the advice that I would probably give is to go with your gut. Listen to your children. No matter what it is, whether they're turning into their teen years or whether they're timid and feel like their voice doesn't matter, you need to let them know that home is a safe haven, that the world might, give them some lemons, but you need to teach them how to make that lemonade soon as possible. you know, it's changing. And so with change, we have to teach our children to be able to adapt to that change. And I think that's the most important thing that that I would tell anybody is to listen to your gut, listen to your children, if that's what you're doing. And be happy yourself, because if you're not happy yourself, if you can't replenish and be happy yourself, then you can't give anything to anybody from an empty
Yes.
well. So I think that that would be a very important thing to tell anybody. So that's pretty much
Okay,
it.
all right, we're girlfriends. Woo! You, let me tell you, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. In this past hour, you have been hanging out with Yalonda Harris, woo, out of
Yay!
Bachelor, Florida, y'all. So listen, keep up the momentum and continue to connect with positive people, positive homeschooling
People, yes,
families who's going to make a positive impact in your life and in your journey and your mindset and in your focus as you homeschool. And you know what?
exactly.
You be that positive resource that they can draw from. It's a reciprocal.
Hmm.
You give positivity and they give positivity, and just keep up that momentum, you all. And Yolanda, I
Exactly.
just want to let you know that Girlfriends has got to homeschooling. We're so thankful to you for taking it this time and persevering this afternoon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I didn't think we were ever going to get through it, but we made it.
In there, and we just calmly homeschool mom. We figured this out and got it done, and technical
Yeah.
issue. Actually, it was her husband came in with the bright idea. Just do this.
Yeah, yeah. I should have called him in at first.
But you, Girlfriends, God appreciates you and grateful to you for sharing of your nuggets, your wisdom, your journey and experience. So I just pray great blessings upon all you do, and as you all launch out next summer and this venture. So
Yeah.
exciting, so exciting. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for your
You are
time.
welcome. But listen, girlfriends,
Mhm.
let me let you know, please go over to Girlfriends Guide to Homeschooling, the page, Facebook page, and like and follow us there. And then on YouTube, Girlfriends Guide to Homeschool, there you see all of these interviews all prettied up with music and all this kind of stuff, all nice interviews and other series that I'm doing or have done. Connect with us there, and just know that this platform is building a village. It's a village of the African homeschooling diaspora, and those are the marginalized homeschooling. Okay, so this is a village where we are connecting and saying, hey, I homeschool too, I'm here, let's connect, let's draw together. All right, so stay connected, share, let other homeschooling moms know about this platform. If you desire to homeschool, you have some questions, please reach out to me and let me know, or contact Yolanda, and she gave you her contact information. It can be done. There's ways, creative ways. You work, you're single, you're doing this. It can be done if that's your heartbeat to do it. Okay, and
Yes.
just remember,
Yes.
to teach a child is to touch a life. And as we homeschool, we not only touch a life, we shape the future through our efforts of homeschooling. So keep making a positive impact day after day and year after year. It's going to be worth it. Just like Yolanda, and 2 years in, and now they're about to take on this great homeschooling adventure. It's
Yes.
so worth it. Okay, so until next time, I'm Angela Jordan Perry. I'm your host, and thanks again for joining us. And Yolanda, again, thank you, and I'll be in touch with you soon.
Thank you, Angela.
Y'all have a blessed
Bye.
evening. Bye bye. Peace.